Good morning, one and all, and welcome to the Damage Report on this fine Monday. We have a video that we're going to be playing to close out this of Donald Trump, and he very rarely actually has to regret the things that he says because of our media and our political culture and how terrible a significant portion of our country is. But in this one case, an amazing video of him damning himself with his own words in a very specific area. Now, I see people talking about a congratulations, but I don't know in reference to what. So please try to let me know. But thank you, everybody here. I see people talking about the gifting. The Dragonathon has been a success beyond my wildest imagining. So thank you to everybody who has gifted subs. I mean, there are people who've gifted literally hundreds of memberships through the course of this month. And then there's also people who've gifted a couple, and that's awesome too. Like, thank you so much for doing that. Gifting a single membership to someone you probably don't even know is such a wonderful thing to do, and I really do appreciate it. So with that spirit, let's hit the like button. We're going to launch into some news and eventually get to that video. Okay. Oh, Naomi got a job. Well, congratulations. Love to see the good economic news in the chat. Okay, so let's jump to the update. So on a Monday, it's tough for us generally to do the updates on the trial because, you know, it's happening like literally as we're doing our final production and everything. So we're not really going to talk about it in the show, but I did want to talk about one thing that happened because there was a big revelation about Michael Cohen. Did you know that he robbed Donald Trump? He did. So basically, he goes around paying off people or whatever and then gets reimbursed. It's sort of how we ended up in the hush money thing. But it was not just with that. It was with other things too. In some cases, he would be billed for a certain amount. He would then demand that they pay a lower amount, which in many cases is what he's supposed to do. That's like actually how it's supposed to work. Except that in these cases, he didn't tell Trump that he got them to pay less. He requested for compensation the full amount and then just kept it. And so he apparently stole something like $60,000 from the Trump organization, which just with the huge amounts of money that are being like thrown around, like it's amazing that these people, that they do additional theft considering how much money they have access to. Like for regular people, this would be like a life-changing thing. For them, it's like, it's a tip on top of everything else. It's amazing. But anyway, so he admitted to doing that. And that is like, that's a game changer, I guess. You know, CNN's legal analyst is saying it's a more serious crime than falsifying business records. And I see that and I think, I mean, maybe, I don't know. But, okay. So send them both to jail. What? Why not? Like, just send them both to jail. They both committed crimes, right? So they both, like, why does it matter? I know it's supposed to make you, like, less trustworthy. Okay, but we already know that he's a massive liar. Like, I don't understand. He's not going to come out of this a good guy. It's not like Trump is guilty if Cohen is innocent. Cohen is pre-guilty. He already went to prison for this. So I don't care if he stole from Trump. Honestly, it's one of the best things that he's ever done in his life. More people should have stolen more money from Trump to help counterbalance all the money that he steals from literally everyone around him. Particularly his biggest supporters. Andy Q says, hey John, I had an idea to show appreciation for all gifters. After the top 10, have like 5 random drawing winners, 2 with everything outside of the top 10 eligible to win those. Not 100% sure about our technical capacity to do that. I will consider. Bear in mind, we've expanded now to the whole top 10 games. So we're already, like originally I had been told you should do like the top 3, and I said we're doing the top 5. Now we're doing the top 10, so just bear that in mind. But I will look into whether that's technically possible. In any event, Cohen is still being, cross-examined and everything. We'll see, what remains of his reputation coming out of this. I also wanted to mention this. We are going to be talking a little bit about the crazy amount of Trump rallies and stuff he did over the weekend, the insane speech to the NRA. We're going to do all that. There is one thing that we're not going to talk about on the show, just because, okay, so Trump suggesting he could be a 3-term president if he wins the election. So I don't know if you saw this clip. I don't even care enough about it to actually play the clip for you. But the basic idea is, he said something about, if we get elected, are we 2-term or are we 3-term? And like, I understand that you can read that as him saying, if we get elected, do we do we stick with that or do we go for a 3rd term? But he's also a maniac. Like, I also read it potentially as him saying, is this our 2nd term or is this our 3rd term? Because we won in 2020. I wasn't president, but we won. And just, I don't care. Like, at this point, If he wins re-election, buckle the fuck up. Hold on to your fucking butts, okay? We don't know what might happen. At a certain point, I don't even want to warn people anymore because we should all already know. It's going to be wild times. Now, he says, I'd be perfectly happy with 2. I would never. Andy Q, that's funny. I want to mention that. Like that, I would be happy with the 2. Look, I will say, I cannot imagine Donald Trump until the day that he shuffles off of his mortal coil or whatever. I don't think that he will ever stop trying to be powerful or trying to be the biggest person. So just fucking be prepared for it. That's what I would say. Like, I've spent years and years being a part of the effort to try to warn as many people as possible, and just we're gonna see what happens in November is what's gonna happen. Okay, really fast. Marcus Otero says in a super chat, if Trump didn't notice, the money missing sounds like a victimless crime. Yeah, nothing but winning, no victim, huge success, everyone happy. It is what he was owed after all. By the way, the Drudge Report is being attacked right now because in the Drudge Report, they implied that Trump should take the stand in his trial. And I don't understand that. How are you going to attack the Drudge Report for saying you should testify if he's saying he should and he wants to? Now, we know he's lying, and Fox News knows that he's lying when he says that. But the cover story is that he wants to, and so Drudge is saying he should do what he says he wants to do. So when you as a right-winger attack Drudge for blowing up the narrative we're all supposed to pretend we believe, I just think that's amazing. It just shows what a farce so much of this is. Smiling Dragon says in a super chat, Randy Rainbow 45 parody, well worth a watch. I have not seen that. I will have to check for that after. By the way, Andy Q had said that I should do King and Queen of the Ring predictions. I don't know how many people actually watched my WrestleMania predictions. And by the way, I got a lot of them wrong. At least half. I'll see. I'll see if I have time. I might do a live stream on Instagram, instagram.com/John Itarola. I might do that. We'll see. Oh, by the way, speaking of content that's not political, by the way, so people have been suggesting that I watch the Fallout show. So I did go and watch the Fallout show, and that is what my Patreon podcast was on this month. It was my breakdown with my friend Quay of the Fallout show, where I think it was strong, and some of the issues I had with it, because I don't think it's the most amazing show ever. I did genuinely enjoy it. So at patreon.com, in addition to all of my writing, there's a couple of dozen podcast episodes breaking down movies, TV shows, games, books, stuff like that. So anyway, if you're interested, patreon.com/John Itarola. Okay, we're at 44. Okay, hit the like button. We're getting close, everyone. We talked about that. Fox News had a poll about support for marijuana legalization, and they found 69% of American voters, including the majority of Republicans, support it because of course. Why are we still talking? Like, there's so many things I can't believe we're still talking about. Yeah, why would anyone care if you don't want to smoke it? Don't smoke it. By the way, I don't think you should be able to smoke it in like a restaurant or whatever. I don't think there should ever be a concern over secondhand weed smoke, but like, it's not as bad as so many things that are already legal, and you don't have to do it, and it has already been legal in so many places for so long. Why is this still a thing that's being debated? I listened to an episode. Hey, Galfar. Double or Nothing prediction. I don't have any Double or Nothing predictions because I don't watch AEW. I'm sorry. I don't remember what I was going to say. It should just be legal. Like, honestly, I don't. Oh, yeah. So I was listening to the episode of The Daily this morning. It was about concerns over the 401k basically taking over for pensions for our retirement accounts. And they had a stat. It's about half of Americans don't have access to 401k, and about half of those who do don't have any money in their 401k. That is a massive fucking problem for people's retirement, okay? If we had a physical manifestation of how big a problem that is, how big would someone else smoking marijuana be in comparison to that? Who fucking cares? It's pot, okay? It's fine. It's been legal for so long. Shut up about it. Anyway, we're not actually going to shut up about it because we need to legalize it for everyone. It shouldn't be a thing where like you like drive across the country and it's legal, illegal, legal, illegal, legal, illegal. That's crazy that that's the legal situation. Okay, let's see. Sandy, member, much appreciated. Thank you. Let's get now to Donald Trump. And I made bold claims that he's going to regret saying some things. Well, I want to show you what he's saying now, the type of position that he is trying to take now.
And I will not give one penny to any school that has a vaccine mandate or a mask mandate.
That just happened. What school has a mask mandate? Like, seriously, like, they're just playing the hits. Yeah, we get it. We get it. You guys don't believe in medicine. I understand. You believe in witchcraft, but not medicine. I understand. So he is playing to that because he has no respect for the audience or whatever, and he thinks that they're a bunch of conspiracist morons. Many of them are. It's an NRA audience. It's like the leadership of the NRA. Here's the thing. That is how Donald Trump talks about all this now. And look, he was really bad during the pandemic. I was more critical of him than perhaps anyone else in the world. But that said, that is not the only thing he has had to say that touches on the pandemic. And if you were, say, not Biden, I want to be very clear, he's not dooming himself in regards to Biden directly. But if you wanted to, for instance, peel off some right-wing voters from him, there is material out there, RFK Jr., if you were interested. And so I want to play a little bit of this. Ron Filipkowski on Twitter put this together. And just a few of these are all that is necessary to peel off a couple percentage points. But in totality, it's amazing. Take a look at this.
It's a great vaccine. It's a safe vaccine, and it's something that works. I recommend take the vaccines. I did it. It's good. Take the vaccine. Not only did we push the FDA far beyond what the bureaucrats wanted to do, we also put up billions and billions of dollars, 10 billion, to produce the vaccines before we knew they were going to work. We did the right thing. We closed the country down. Could have kept it open. And I could have done what some countries are doing. I had to shut it down, and we did the right thing. I thought of keeping it open. And we did just the right thing. We closed it down, and a group of very smart people walk in and say, sir, we have to close it. And we did the right thing. They can't do anything without the approval of the President of the United States. Even the Democrats aren't blaming me for that. We had to close it up. Some people wish we never closed it down. We did the right thing. We closed it. It's a decision for the President of the United States. I mean, we did the right thing. We had to close it up because nobody's ever heard of closing down a country, let alone the United States of America. We had to turn off the airlines. We had to turn off everything. And we did the right thing. A lot of people have thought about it. Write it out. Don't do anything. Just write it out and think of it as the flu. But it's not the flu. It's vicious. We basically shut down our country. We did the right thing. We had to close it down. The President of the United States calls the shots. And we had to close it down. We did the right thing. They're not working in offices. They're not in airplanes together. And we did close up. We had to close it up, and we did the right thing. We closed it down. We did the right thing. We closed it up. We were told we got to shut it down, stop it, tell everyone to stay home because of this horrible virus, and we did that. We had to artificially close our country. We've done this right, and we really have done this right. So we did the right thing. Everything.
Okay, so first of all, no, you didn't. You did not do this right. Not at all. Lots and lots and lots of people died. Now, coming out of that, the most important point is, isn't it weird that you can say we closed it up and we closed it down and it means the same thing? Isn't that weird how the English language works? But anyway, so if you were a third-party candidate, for instance, that already has some appeal in this area of the political spectrum, and you wanted to get a couple more percentage points, that's some stuff that you could play, because he did say all of that over ad nauseum, and I am totally ad nauseumed right now. He kept saying it, and he kept saying it. Now, of course, we understand the context of it. That's the sort of stuff that he said almost instant, like at very beginning. He said that. The first week or two he said that. Some of the vaccine stuff a little bit longer. In terms of the closing, it was literally like the first 2 weeks. And then Fox News turned on him, and the right turned on him, the conspiracists turned on him, and then he realized, wait, I can do what I'm literally saying is the right thing to do, but then I probably will lose control of the party. Or I can damn a bunch of these people to dying and stay popular, and that's the decision that he made. Yeah, Rich is pointing out some of the other context. So, look, I'm pointing out how this could hurt him in a political ad, and I think that it could. But let's also bear in mind, he completely flipped on this. He was the one talking about not having testing, and he was the one trying to convince people that it wasn't serious. And in terms of just weathering it like he talked in that, he was talking about herd immunity. Just let people get sick and, then later I guess we'll be okay. That is what they actually said. And so honestly, he took both positions that were wrong from different perspectives simultaneously, and thus could be attacked from both RFK Jr. on the, critical of medicine side, and then Joe Biden from the wanting people to stay alive side. I think that he can and should be attacked by both of those sides. We'll see how relevant a part of it becomes. And by the way, I bring it up because you might say, well, what's the difference? I mean, this is 2020 stuff. We're way out from that. No, but as I played in that clip, he's the one still talking about vaccine mandates and mask mandates. He clearly thinks that among the right, it's still a very salient, relevant thing. And so if it is, okay, you know what Biden could do? Pay to put him talking about how the vaccine is great all throughout, the right. And then contrast it with, in the South and stuff like that. And then contrast it with RFK Jr. being more critical of the vaccine. They should put millions of dollars into that. See what happens with that vote in a few places. See what happens in Georgia. See what happens in Arizona and Nevada. These are tight races. A couple points maybe going to RFK Jr. Maybe can hurt Trump. We'll see. Just ideas. I'm not a consultant or whatever. I'm not being paid. These are just ideas that I'm having. In any event, Francesca's about to be here in about 7 minutes. We've got an awesome show for you. Not only updates on the
great vaccine.
Shut up, you. Not only updates on the big Jasmine Crockett, Marjorie Greene brouhaha, which I'm mainly interested in because we get to talk about John Fetterman trying to do damage control. And so I love that. That's going to be great. We've got some merch stuff there to talk about. Trump going crazy at the rallies over the weekend. Rudy Giuliani's birthday being ruined. That's obviously going to be fun. And the ICC potentially putting forward warrants for Benjamin Netanyahu, as well as leadership of Hamas. So that's going to be exciting. We're going to talk about that and a whole lot more. So hope to see you there. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Patreon.com/John Roll if you're interested in Fallout. You want to hear that podcast. I'll talk to you soon.